So the Super Mario series has had its fair share of ups and downs over the years, right? Like it kind of reinvigorated the series back in the 80s on the original Nintendo Entertainment System, and then fast forward quite a few years, and 64 really kind of picked up a lot of speed just as 3D gaming was really starting to get the attention of mainstream audiences. And then fast forward even further, you know, like Sunshine kind of fumbled a bit, Galaxy really hit its stride, but now we have Super Mario Odyssey on Switch. And the thing is, there's not a lot of these kinds of games around anymore, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like the third-person platformer is a really exciting concept where I've had the pleasure of playing it, and it's been one of my launched like must-have titles on the Switch since I got it, and I've kind of enjoyed like a lot of what it had to offer.
Yeah, it's enjoyable, but it kind of begs the question, like, what should you expect from a game like this in 2017,
Agreed.
right?
What was it set out to achieve? I think it has a really unique proposition where it's really endearing, it's nostalgic, it delivers everything hardcore Mario fans really want to experience in this like new generation of Mario. And I think the best part about it is the gameplay. It's really intuitive, it's very easy to pick up, plus it really delivers on everything that we were all expecting.
So the core gameplay is kind of a hodgepodge of ideas, right? Like you've still got the general sort of running around as Mario, the actual core platforming, which is still really good. It still feels really fun to try and traverse these Bizarro levels in some cases.
Yeah, Bizarro is correct.
Yeah.
I think its newest offering is this possession ability.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you think?
It kind of hit or miss would probably be the best way to put it.
Wow, okay, fair enough.
Well, I mean, like the thing is, in some cases, it's just a matter of like taking over something as trivial as like a Goomba, where like you don't slip on ice, or like a fish, where you don't have to like come up for air sometimes.
Yeah.
But then there are like occasions where you take over a T-Rex, and just like
sure.
you just like rampage through the level.
Yeah.
The main point of like trying to sort of possess all of these different creatures, I guess, is to try and get the moons. Which kind of are like the equivalent of Mario 64's stars or Galaxy stars.
All the coins, pretty much.
Yeah. And you're trying to get those to make sure that you can power up the Odyssey and try and track down Bowser to stop his wedding.
But need I say, it is the most goddamn satisfying thing when you finally get a moon. Oh my gosh, it's really great, and it's a really enticing way to explore off the trail of the game and to, just go off-road and experience what each level has to deliver. And I've got to give you a side note here that not every moon is available just doing campaign, which is of course really like...
It's a little bit weird, right? Like the thing is, the game does a really good job of sort of starting you off with training wheels, right? Like it sort of eases you into a lot of the core mechanics, including like some of the possession stuff, which you're still possessing monsters like 5, 6, 7 hours into the game that are new. But then also, on top of that...
Oh, mate, Cappy, he's adorable. And now Mario has this ability to throw his hat and use it to jump on top of or open doors and as a weapon to kill like bosses and other enemies.
And you're able to like take those tools back to like the original level or like the sort of earlier levels and go back through and pick up all of those collectibles that you weren't able to in the beginning.
Yeah.
But even then, like through the core objectives and then through a lot of the side stuff where you are enticed to do a lot of exploration, it is really fun, it is really satisfying.
As I was exploring New Donk City, playing as Mario, I found that it was a really interesting juxtaposition of having a cartoon character in a real-world sim environment where all the characters look like actual 3D people and they spoke Simlish to Mario to get their objectives across.
Well, the weird thing is that New Donk City isn't one of the levels, because like, if you've been looking at like a lot of the trailers or a lot of the gameplay
it's the one
stuff,
that you'd recognize from most of the branding.
Yeah, exactly, but you don't actually get to see it until like 3 or 4 worlds in.
Exactly.
And so you get used to the sort of bizarro, really abstract level design and visual design, but then it throws you into New Donk City, which I maintain has a really interesting level structure.
Yeah, it does. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, but in terms of like being able to go down beaten paths, or go off beaten paths rather, and sort of explore little like weird crevices or like parts of the level that like don't really look like you should be there.
Yeah.
But then like you said, the visuals don't really quite match up with that.
Agreed. There's a lot of moments where you can sit back, relax and enjoy the view with the snapshot mode, take some nice selfies with the Instagram filters, and I really like that. But I think what I found the most was that the camera controls in this level were quite extreme. They gave me a bit of vertigo, plus it felt janky and hard to control.
Well, the camera controls can be kind of hard to... This is the problem with 3D platformers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, when you have areas in a level where the developers feel comfortable giving you full control, it works.
Yeah.
But then there are parts of a level where you might go into like a tight 2D side-scrolling sort of area.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes to, or in the boss areas, it goes to a dolly. And so depending on where you are, like where Mario actually moves, then the camera will move and you don't have control of that. And that still feels like crap, right?
There were a few moments where I was like, reassigning with the left thumbstick and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that as well, like, look, while we're on it, motion controls, can they just stop? Like,
I was watching a friend play and all of a sudden he's like, ugh, with his hands, and I was like, what are you doing? And like, nothing, just playing Odyssey. And I was, it was very disjointing and distracting. So I found that I don't think we need to play with that. I think it would be better without.
I think it's more frustrating that like some of the controls are actually restricted to motion. But look, overall, it doesn't really impact a whole lot on the game experience, right?
Not really at all. I'm just imagining myself doing those hand motions again. I'm sorry for that, visual fans, but no. Overall, I really enjoyed Mario Odyssey and what it had to deliver for a new age 3D platformer.
The thing is though, like, it's still fun, it's still kind of fresh, but it doesn't bring a whole lot of new stuff. Like, it's not mind-blowing in terms of the content or how it delivers that. The reason I think why it feels kind of fresh is because it's kind of a void genre, right? Like, outside of ukulele recently and this.
There's still a lot of depth within Mario's controls and like what the things he can like actually achieve around the maps, I think.
Just going with tempered expectations.
Yeah.